You're watching NFL Daily. I am Tom Downey, and you know the drill by now, right? It's a mailbag. We answer all of your questions as they come in live here on Chat Sports. Jack Bishop, the coolest Jack, with a super chat. Do you think Jeffrey Okudah gets traded? I've seen he hasn't been performing up to the standard. I love him with the Lions. It's a third, Mullens, and a sixth. I think you mean Trayvon Mullen, not Nick Mullens, since Nick Mullens got traded. Mullen would make a lot more sense there. It's a good offer if the Lions are out on Okudah. Whenever I get asked about him, here's the route I go, or the issue I have. If the Lions are giving up on their third overall pick less than 3 years in, barely 2 years in, that's a huge red flag. Those guys almost never pan out. It means they're busts. Team knows there's something wrong. So if you could get him for a cheapish package, do you want him? And if he's not available for a cheapish package, do you want to overpay for it? It hasn't been good so far. That's the real problem you run into. I do think Trayvon Mullen, a third and a sixth, is pretty good. I've heard some positive things out of Lions camp this year for Okudah. It's a make or break year for him. I think that's one of those where all parties involved go, let me just stay with what I got, because the downside is pretty concerning. Tyson Stanger, however you pronounce it. What places do you see Young and Stroud going next year? I mean, any team that is drafting early needs a quarterback should be in the conference. So that could be Seattle, could be Houston, could be Atlanta, could be potentially both New Yorks if the Jets are really, really bad, which I don't think they'll be, but just want to mention that one. Carolina could bottom out. Philadelphia has draft assets to go get a quarterback if Jalen Hurts is not the guy. The Commanders still. There are a lot of teams they could go to. Check in 2 or 3 months. We'll know by then. From Empire One, is that a pun or not? They did nothing wrong, however. I haven't seen the Falcons linked to Jimmy G. Should they be? No. I don't really see why Atlanta would want Garoppolo. They have a veteran stopgap for a team that, let's be honest, isn't going to make a playoff run. Like, they could win a couple of games, could be around 500, sure, but who here thinks they're a playoff caliber roster? I don't think anyone objectively does. Does Jimmy G elevate your roster in that fashion? I don't think so. So I don't see the benefit of adding Jimmy Garoppolo to the current Falcons team. Honestly, I'd rather give the reins to Ridder if it comes to it. So when it comes to Garoppolo, make your predictions. Who will trade or sign him in the event he gets cut? Let me know right now in the comment section. This is the pinned comment on today's show. So if an ad break comes here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there and let me know. RJ, look at another Jimmy G question. If he gets cut, should he play with the Seahawks, Texans, or the Browns? Good question. I think Seattle crossed them off. Like, I think Seattle's tanking, right? Like, they got to be. Locke and Smith, come on. So I'm going to cross off Seattle, I guess. Houston, I kind of want them to give the reins to Davis Mills, see what he can do. Beyond that, I think I'm going to go with Cleveland of the three. Just because short term, he could really carry you over from that standpoint. Choppy71, does your win total go up since Baker is the QB? Oh, I should have yelled it. My bad. I think it helps. Like, I think Baker's better than Darnold. I'm still not convinced that team is good enough, but if Baker can play like he did in 2020, the back half of 2020, that was borderline top 10 quarterback play. If McCaffrey's healthy, if the offensive line isn't terrible, you can talk yourself into Carolina at least being the second best team in the NFC South, and that will put them in the playoff race. From the RC Plane Builder, overall thoughts on Ridder and Mariota. Saw a lot of good stuff out of out of Ridder in that preseason game. There were some just anticipatory throws that I was really impressed by. There's like one, he just throws it into like a window like this big over the shoulder of the defender. It's an awesome throw. I like what I saw from Ridder. I've seen good things from Mariota. Remember, it is the preseason. Don't read too much into it after all. Now, if you are a real one at Chat Sports, meaning you watch our videos, you love what we do, time for you to rep some real one Chat Sports gear. Order your t-shirt today at chatsports.com/real1. Different colors. You can rep purple if you're a Vikings fan. That way you can kind of match to your favorite team's color. Get yours today at chatsports.com/real1. The link to those t-shirts, tons of different styles and variety, by the way, in the comment section and in the description. Be a real one by getting your t-shirt today. From Michael, if Seattle, super chat, by the way, thank you, Michael. If Seattle drafts in the back half of the top 10, should they trade up for Stroud or Young or draft Lewis/Van Dyke? It's tough to know how those guys fare this year. Based on currently, I would try to go get Stroud or Young, but that's very expensive to go get one of them. So it gets a little bit complicated, but you have the extra first-round pick. I would probably try to go get one of those Stroud or Young guys based on where they currently sit. But we'll know more in depth in the coming weeks and months as college football moves on. I'd say trade up. In my mock drafts, I'm not going to project trades, though, for now. It gets way too complicated. JG, Cowboys trade for Isaiah Wynn, then bring in JC Tretter. Why is he not signed yet? All right, first up on Isaiah Wynn. I don't know. People are like, trade him for a 6th-rounder. I'm like, yeah, let's ride. I don't know why the Patriots would do that, though. I know money and injuries are a problem. He's a starter for you somewhere on your offensive line. I think JC Tretter is also a starter for a lot of different teams on the offensive line. The reports have been, there's the medical stuff. His knees are banged up. I believe that the real answer is that JC Tretter is the NFL president for the players, NFLPA president for the players. And I don't think NFL teams like that. I think that is a factor in why he remains unsigned. Now, we're going to see a lot of roster moves coming in the coming days. Roster cuts less than just a couple days away, frankly. NFL Week 1. Almost here finally, and we've got you covered with all the NFL coverage you could ever want. If you haven't already, hit that big red button and subscribe. From War Same Eagle, which I think maybe like a War Eagle kind of joke, Eagle, however you pronounce it. Will the Rams go back-to-back and win back-to-back? I don't think so. They're going to be a great team, don't get me wrong, but I don't think we can underemphasize how difficult it is to win back-to-back titles. They're going to have a chance, but I'll make note of this too. Without the Logan Wilson PI, I don't know if that, which I thought was a bad call, they don't win that game. So there needs to be some luck, and the amount of luck required to win back-to-back years is kind of tricky as far as I'm concerned. From Also, any takers for Kenny Golladay? I don't think so. That's kind of the situation I think that we're at. Like, the contract's rough. You give him a year and see if you can get any better from that standpoint. Tighten up 75. The Eagles should trade Jalen Reagor for Kareem Hunt. I mean, I love that trade for Philadelphia. I don't know why the Browns would do it, though. That's weird to me. I don't think no one wants Jalen Reagor. I'm sorry. Reagor sucks. Now, Dearness Johnson for Reagor could make some more sense for Philadelphia, and for the Browns, I should say, but I don't think anyone wants Reagor. So with that in mind, let's have some fun. Pick a player. JR for Jalen Reagor or KH for Kareem Hunt. You have to pick one of them. Contract, and we'll throw in off the field as well. Pick one, JR or KH. Junior Estrada. Should the Pats trade Isaiah Wynn to the Buccaneers for a 4th-round pick next year? The Bucs have been hit hard by offensive line injuries. So if I were the Bucs, yes, I would be calling. But if I'm New England, I would not trade away Isaiah Wynn. He is a starter for you. I know he's expensive injury problems, and Bill loves to trade guys early. I don't get it if they trade him away, to be honest. From Vince, will the Browns make the playoffs? I don't think so. I don't trust Brissett. They will be in the mix, don't get me wrong. And if they were in the NFC, I'd be all aboard it. But I have a difficult time seeing them treading water long enough for Deshaun to get back and then make that deep run. I think the Browns come up just shy. Had they had Deshaun for all 17 games? Different conversation. Out 11? Don't know about that one. Zach Kane, OBJ to Carolina. I don't think so. Let me put it this way. If Carolina, first off, does OBJ want to go back with Baker? I kind of don't think so. I think I know he said nice things publicly. I don't know if I believe that. he'd be an upgrade over Terrace Marshall short term, who's been nicked up a lot lately. I think no, unless, look, if there's an injury to Carolina and they're in the mix, could change. Lots of it could change. For now, I say no. From Teven Jenkins, Titans need to go trade for Teven Jenkins. Agree. What's Teven's dad's name, by the way? Interesting. Sure, why not? You could play him at left guard or right tackle or right guard. You got concerns, injuries, talent issues. Nate Davis healthy, it's probably not right guard, but I don't trust the Titans' offensive line. Seems like Jenkins is getting some more praise for his play at guard for the Bears, but I could still see him being on the block. So with that in mind, name a player who you think gets traded. Could be Teven Jenkins, could be Robert Quinn. Drop a name or names in the comment section. Evan Hinders, Vikings draft Anthony Richardson to replace Kirk Cousins. Sure. Look, upside, yeah. I am not sold yet on Anthony Richardson. I need to see it more than the handful of snaps we've seen in the past. From Billy Walden, Dreams to take the first QB off the board. They have capital. They can make it happen. They might be bad enough anyway. I don't think that team is that far. I like the way they've built. I like Dan Campbell as head coach. They are not in a win right now mode for 2022. So if they're bad again, sure, that's fine. Go ahead and do it. Go get a franchise QB. If they think it's Stroud or Young, I ain't gonna be mad at it. I promise you. From Latuya 67, what do you think about Skip Bayless? 57 TDs for Dak. So, not really what he said. So, Yahoo Sports simmed an entire season on Madden, and in the sim season, Dak Prescott threw 57 touchdown passes. So, no, obviously not going to happen. You're going to be closer to half that number than 57. It's because Madden sucks, is what happened there. So, I know Skip probably talked about it. No, he's not getting almost 60 TDs. Hell, if he throws 37, he might win MVP. That's just 57 is ludicrous, and that's why Madden sucks. Suck it, EA. Sterling Alba, thoughts on Cam Jurgens, Eagles second-round center. How good could Cam be? I think a really good starter. If you run the stretch zone blocking type of stuff where he thrives, I think there's some upside there. I didn't love him at Nebraska, but he's gotten better and stronger already in Philadelphia, so good steps forward there. I think he is your Kelsey replacement at some point, and look, he's not going to be Jason Kelsey, but I think he can be a very good starter for you. The Eagles have done a great job on the offensive line. I think Jurgens could be next.